another edition of the NFL Fourth and Goal podcast. I'm your host here, my boy Flipside. Flip, what's going on, man?
Not much, my guy. Just chilling, watching this game. I thought it was gonna be a defensive game. This is looking like a shootout is about to happen.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yes.
But I mean, shoot, I'm cool with it. I was hoping that the last game we get on a Thursday this year is gonna be at least something entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, hey, I ain't mad at it.
It looks that way.
What about you, my guy?
Yeah. There's the Cleveland Browns could secure a playoff spot with this one. Well, it's pretty much all over but the crying. Well, but then again, the New York Giants could help out my Pittsburgh Steelers by putting a dent in their playoff chances. But hey, all in all, I'm just hoping for a decent game that doesn't put me to sleep between these two, which usually is the case. But anyway,
Flacco. Uh-oh. Okay, we're good.
All right.
But it's looking like it's going to be a fun time in the AFC. I think the Steelers get in regardless at this point.
It depends.
Oh, do you like the news? What was it? They're sticking with Mason Rudolph this week.
Yeah, I like the news because I think Kenny Pickett is like 98%. That's not even enough. That's not going to be enough to beat the Ravens or the Seahawks. Yeah. But
yeah. It's going to take a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, wow, what a week for Christmas football, and a lot more playoff indications. And I looked this up, and they say despite there being 2 games left, there is still over 3 billion different possibilities of playoff and Super Bowl combinations. Yeah, they're talking about from now until the Super Bowl. How many different possibilities and combinations and win-loss records? Oh yeah. But yeah. Anyway, yes. Some crazy. The thing is, like, some crazy things can happen between now and the very first week of the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very interesting, especially this week. But what's really, really odd to me is that the teams with nothing to play for are now starting to play spoiler.
Oh yeah. A lot of teams are. I mean, you would think that a lot of teams would just sit down and just try to tank it or just go for playoff spots. No, a lot of teams are just like, nah, we're still playing the season now, testing out stuff, seeing how it is next year.
Yeah.
New coaches coming in, trying to will their team for next year. Just it's fun. Yeah. Nobody's giving up just yet.
Yeah, don't lay down. Yeah, absolutely.
And CJ Stroud's back this week, so the Texans are still alive because the Jags been selling these last.
Oh, the Jags have taken a nosedive. My goodness. And the thing is, the reason why is because they're playing a crippled Sunshine. Yeah, so why? Yeah. He's been weak as hell because he's hurt.
I think it's because he's trying to play through it. It's like they have those moments where they think, if I go out in this field and
leave it all out there,
through it, giving my team momentum. They're seeing me trying to be a leader out here, and it's kind of backfiring for him. So, I mean, he might just be better than CJ Beathard, though. So,
hell yeah,
I can't really fault it. So, hey.
Yeah. But all right, game of the week. What was it for you last week?
Game of the week. Let me go see real quick once again, because I was thinking, what was it? Patriots Broncos was all right. Cowboys Dolphins was fun.
Oh yeah.
Game of the week. Seahawks Titans. I didn't see that one.
I expected the Ravens. I expected the Ravens and the 49ers to be the game of the week, but that ended up being one-sided.
Oh yeah, and funny enough, it was the opposite of what I thought it was going to be. I thought the 49ers were going to go out there and dominate. You know what? That Chargers-Bills game was fun.
It was
a fun game to watch. I had a feel. I called it. Remember, I told you it was going to be a trap game for the Bills.
Yeah.
And they came out there and they played them hard. The Bills looked a little iffy. Stephon Diggs, I think he's gone next year. I don't think he's going to be part of this Bills team next year at this point. What was it? Yeah, I got to go with this Chargers game. This Chargers game was fun. It was cool to see the team actually kind of like play the Bills hard. Easton Stick had a pretty good game. It was just, they came up short, but I mean, I'm used to that this year and every year before that. So it was. I'll say that was my game of the week.
Yeah. The Green Bay game was closer than it should have been, but that was a firefight. Wow. And but me, I'm gonna have to say Dolphins Cowboys is my game of the week.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Cowboys are looking a little iffy.
Yeah, they are. And they got knocked down from the second to the fifth seed. Yeah, they're fifth seed now. Wow.
Yep.
All right. I had a hard time with this one, but most improved. There's a
This
lot.
one was easy for me.
It is?
I had to go with the Ravens here.
Wow.
This Ravens team, they beat the team that we thought at full health. Well, okay, we can't say full health because Trent Williams got hurt again. But they embarrassed Purdy so bad that he's been knocked out of the MVP race, basically. It's basically now it's Lamar and CMC.
Yeah.
And when you go out there and you have Brock Purdy, who's thrown 9 interceptions on the year, and he just threw 4 against your team.
Yeah.
And then Lamar was carving up the defense with Odell Beckham and Zay Flowers as his receivers. Yeah, this Ravens team, it looks like this Ravens team, if they make it to the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter what team out of the NFC comes out, they're winning.
Wow.
Lamar might get his ring this year if they make it to the Super Bowl.
That's a bold claim, but we'll see about that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. My other one was going to be the Steelers because they just blew the brakes off of the Bengals.
Yeah, and especially because it's a complete 180 from last week. I mean, it's a complete 180 from the last couple of weeks, so yeah.
But then I remember the first week they fired Matt Canada, they played the Bengals, and they blew the Bengals up in that first week, and then they proceeded to have 2 bad games afterwards, and then they come back to the Bengals, and they blew them up again.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's just bad Bengals.
Yeah, we just got their number this year for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'll take it, though.
But Mason Rudolph looked good, though. He looked good out there. And, I mean, hey, it might be the Mason Rudolph era again.
Rudolph, with your arm so bright, won't you light up that defense tonight?
I will say this, though. So, with the Broncos basically giving up on Russ.
Oh, for the love of God.
They're going to cut him. Do you think Russ goes to the Steelers?
That they said, I was reading this article. I was reading this article, and they said that the Steelers were one of the top 5 landing spots for the Steelers for him if they cut him. And I'm not sure because I would still rather we draft somebody new. All right, because here's the thing: we're getting rid of.
It's gonna be hard to draft somebody when y'all are playoff bound, you know.
Yeah, it is. But see, here's the thing: we're getting rid of Mitch regardless. He's gone.
Yeah, 100%.
We're keeping Kenny. We're keeping Mason. I think we either go backup quarterback in the draft, or maybe get a starter quarterback in the draft, or we do get a veteran QB. But I mean, I could think of like 4 other teams that need a veteran QB than us.
Yeah, the Commanders could use Russ. The Panthers, maybe they sit Bryce for a year or 2. But I think honestly, it's just Russ to the Steelers seems right.
Yeah,
it seems right.
Because we pulled it with Michael Vick a few years ago.
Yeah, and it's not like Russ had a bad year. He was pretty efficient with the ball. It was just I don't think Sean Payton used him right. Mike Tomlin might be able to use him better than Sean Payton could. I mean, he's still got the deep ball. He can get the ball to Deontay Johnson. And the run game will probably be better because you can use Russ in the run game as well with, the Jalen Warrens and the Najee Harris.
Right.
So I like it. This would be his first time having a black coach in the league. This might be the move for us, man.
Maybe.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
wouldn't mind it.
But we'll see if the Steelers were to pull the trigger on that. I mean, it'll be an interesting move, like I said, because we're getting rid of Mitch at the end of the year. So, yeah.
And the Broncos are gonna have to handle the rest of his contract. He might take a cheap, pay cut to go play for the Steelers. Who knows?
We'll see. But yeah, that was my most improved team for the week is probably the Steelers. If not, you're right. If not, then Baltimore. And the ever so coveted choke of the week.
Honestly, it might be. Do I want to say the 49ers? No, because they're playing a top tier team.
Yeah.
Choke of the week. I wouldn't mind saying the Cowboys. I wouldn't mind.
Well, I actually predicted they would lose.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah.
But in that game, I'm pretty sure they were leading, right?
Yeah, they were. They were leading.
It was actually no, it was 13-7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I can't give them a choke because they were playing from behind.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys just been, I don't know.
Yeah.
They've been choking when they play like good teams.
That's the thing, is that they're a lot of people saying that they're fool's gold.
You know, I want to give the choke to the Broncos. I think the Broncos choked pretty hard against the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
They had that little comeback at the end, but I mean, no one really thought that a team that was almost like right there to take the top spot from the Chiefs would lose to what, the 3-11 Patriots.
Yeah, 3-11 Patriots. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I guess I gotta give them the choke. They get the choke because there's no way you're even like sniffing the playoffs and you lose to the Patriots right now.
Oh hell no.
So that's probably why Russ got benched. And
I mean, the thing is, I was the first one to be like, why? Y'all are fighting for a damn playoff spot. Why bench your best player?
Exactly.
Why? Unless y'all.
Because they lost faith in him.
Yeah.
I think Sean Payton is fed up with him, and I don't know why. I don't think he has insane weapons out there. I mean, Jerry Jeudy's all right. Courtland Sutton, he's probably not the best number one guy out there, but I mean, Russ has made it work with him. Javonte Williams isn't really. It doesn't seem like he's fully healthy yet from the ACL. Or maybe he is fully healthy and he's just not as great as a running back. But that team it's mediocre on the offensive side. Yeah. It's not like Russ is out there working with Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson. He's not like Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, sure. You can put the blame on him because he has Devontae Adams, one of the best receivers in the league.
Right.
But Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, no, I can't fault Russ for that.
Yeah. Well, all right. Seeing as how the Jets and Cleveland game is en route right now, we're gonna go ahead and skip over to the Saturday night football game between the Dallas Cowboys 10-5 against the Detroit Lions 11-4. Now Detroit has already clinched a playoff spot, but they've been showing some chinks in their armor lately. Dallas is looking they're looking a little bit shaky lately. Don't get me wrong. And the thing is, both of these teams are being heavily criticized. They're like, well, they got two of the best records in the conference and in the league. But which of these teams are legit and which of the other one is phony money? I'd say that Detroit probably has the better defense and offense is probably even. It's going to come down to special teams and who turns the ball over the least. But going ahead, this might be risky, but going ahead and give me the Lions over the Cowboys in this game. Let's say 27-24. Who you got? Lions, Cowboys.
I gotta go with the Lions here. And the reason I'm going with the Lions is because the Cowboys are starting to become one-dimensional.
Yeah.
We don't see them using Tony Pollard a lot. Rico Dowdle is not, he's not a great running back either. So the run game, it reminds me of the Chargers where they can't really run on any team. So they're just kind of like resorting to the passing game. So it's just CeeDee Lamb, a.k.a. Keenan Allen, trying his best to do what he can do on the field. And he might have, another guy out there like Brandon Cooks or Michael Gallup or Jeff Ferguson trying to, help him out. But once you become one-dimensional like that, any defense can just kind of zero in on your passing. Just take away the passing game, and if you can't kill us in the running game, then good luck.
Exactly.
And Dak is, I mean, we've seen it when he gets pressured. He's not the best quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think defensively, I would give it to the Cowboys still, even with Diggs out. I still think that D line is strong. It's good, but man, the bread and butter of the Lions is the run game, and that's what's been killing the Cowboys the last few weeks. And so when I think of this, it's just like, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna run all over him. David Montgomery's gonna run all over him. And if they stack the box, there's Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown to kill him in the passing game. So, I mean, Jared Goff is gonna have if Jared Goff doesn't get a ton of pressure this game, which I mean, I don't think he's gonna get a ton of pressure because that run game is gonna have Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and all those guys kind of, having to play back a little bit and stop the run. They can't just go full, bullhead in and try to get to Jared Goff this game.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I think of that, I'm thinking the Lions might get the best of them. So give me the Lions in this 31-24 over the Cowboys.
Also, and this might be a very, very hot take, but it also wouldn't, and this will actually make things interesting in the playoff race. But it also wouldn't surprise me if this game ended in a draw.
I don't know about a draw. I feel like both these teams are too offense heavy for a draw right now.
But that's the problem. Who can outscore if it comes down to
But both of them are good at throwing pick sixes. Like Dak is real prone to a pick six, and Jared Goff, we already know he's a good pick six guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know about a draw, but it'd be funny as hell if it was a draw.
Yeah, that'll make things interesting.
Oh
yeah, the Eagles will be licking their chops. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up, you got the Baltimore Ravens at home against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are looking good, but the Baltimore Ravens are looking like champs right now. I mean, Lamar's clicking, his receivers, they're top flight right now. And Lamar, the receivers aren't dropping passes, and Lamar, I think this could be his chance to slam the door on the MVP discussion. And Baltimore's defense is starting to look like their old self again, especially the secondary. Miami, as long as Tua holds on to the ball, I mean, look at all the weapons he's got. As long as he doesn't make any dumb mistakes, he should be fine. And the only thing that's questionable to me is maybe Miami's special teams and their ability to give good field position, because you want to give Tua something to work with. But I mean, as far as Lamar, I mean, I think that you could pin Lamar back like 90 yards back and still he can make some kind of magic happen, at least get in field goal range. This is a very, very, very tough one. It wouldn't surprise me if Miami won this one, but I'm gonna play it safe and say give me Baltimore 28-27. Who you got? Ravens, Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens in this one just because Jalen Waddle's out this week. I think Mostert, he's still got a little busted up ankle from that Cowboys game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the injuries here kind of help lean it towards Baltimore for me. I think both of these teams, you can go either way, fully healthy. But I think this is the case of if your running backs are a little banged up, it's easier to stop them, and it's easier to just put 2-3 guys on Tyreek when Waddle's out, So I see that, and then the Dolphins' defense is good, but I don't know if it's good enough to start Lamar Jackson right now. I think Lamar Jackson is just having a hell of a second half of the year, maybe probably just full year in general. But yeah, I gotta go with the Ravens here. I think the Ravens they got the hot hand. They just beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
And I mean that defense I think is way better than the Dolphins defense. So Lamar is probably gonna carve up the Dolphins.
Oh yeah.
Even though I think Mike McDaniel is still a good coach, I think he keeps it close regardless. I mean, as long as Tyreek Hill is out there, it's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, never count him out.
He's still chasing that record.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens here. I'm gonna say Ravens 27-24 over the Dolphins.
Alrighty. Next up, you got a AFC East matchup. You got the New England Patriots going on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills had a dogfight against a team that's quote unquote dead in the water. Well, they're dead in the water as far as having a playoff run, but as far as having a fight, I mean, y'all's quarterback is Stick. What's his name? I forgot what
Easton Stick.
Easton Stick. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He looked pretty damn good for his first start. Yeah. But yeah, New England. I mean, you got, and of course Bailey Zappi. I mean, he's good in flashes, but can he be good for a whole 60 minutes against a team, you know, that's had his number for like the last couple of years or so? Well, actually, Mac Jones is playing, the last couple of years, but still, I mean, Bailey Zappi is, he's looking pretty decent. But in Buffalo, they've got some chinks in their armor, but the thing is, they still are fighting for a playoff spot as well. But the thing is does New England play spoiler here is the big question. In this game, I don't think they do. Give me the Bills over the Patriots. Let's say 27-17. Who you got? Patriots, Bills.
I gotta go Bills here. I don't think the Bills lose to two teams that are not in the greatest shape this year, back to back like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they're still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
Like they just gotta wake up. They did play a spoiler to the Broncos, but the thing here is, with the Bills, I mean, you can take away their best receiver in Diggs, but I mean, you still got Gabe Davis. They play this Patriots team twice a year each year, so they know Belichick better than anybody.
Right.
James Cook he didn't have the greatest running game against us, but I think once again that was a trap game. I think he kind of bounces back this week. This Patriots team, I think they're going to play them hard, but I can't imagine the Bills losing twice in such a crucial time when this is like crunch time. You have to win these games to get into the playoffs. So I think they just have the momentum here. I think they have way much more to lose. And this Patriots team is all right, but I mean, you beat the Broncos, who, I mean, they're decent, but they're not like anything to write home about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll go off just because they play them multiple times a year, and I think they if anybody can kind of beat Belichick at his own game, it's the Bills right now.
Mm-hmm.
So give me the Bills. I'll say 31-20 over the Patriots.
Yeah, Sean McDermott better cook up something special. But yeah, all right. Anyway, next up, oh boy, you got the Atlanta Falcons going up against the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears have been looking pretty damn good lately, and Atlanta has kind of fallen off the wayside. But get this. Despite their record, and despite how mediocre they've looked mediocre to trash for the majority of the year, they both have a chance to make the playoffs. The Falcons have a 15% chance to make the playoffs, and the Bears have a 1% chance to make the playoffs. The thing is, I don't know what to make of Atlanta. I didn't really have them go. I mean, like I said, a 78 record is, I'll be honest, it's better than what I thought they'd be at this point in the season. But then again, look at who they faced. They're in one of the worst divisions in football, so what else can you expect? Chicago, however, I mean, I expected them to be only like a 3-win team at this point, but they're 6-9. A whole bunch of crazy stuff's going to happen for them to make that 7th seed, but I don't think it's going to. I think they're going to be done by the end of next week. That is. I don't know if I think that they might give Justin Fields another shot. I think what it is as far as Justin Fields, if they want to keep him, they need to get him some more weapons. But I think that he can outduel Desmond Ridder. I mean, I don't even think Desmond Ridder's starting this game. And if the thing is with Atlanta, they've got Kyle Pitts, they got Bijan Robinson. I don't know why the hell they're not feeding them more. It's ridiculous. And
Arthur Smith, he's got to go.
Hell yeah.
He's the worst coach for that team right now.
Yes, he is.
And the question is, when you have the number 1 pick in the draft when you're the Bears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you pass up on Caleb Williams to stick with Justin Fields?
I'm not sure you do.
Would you?
I'm not sure. You're taking a big gamble.
You should.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin Fields has shown flashes, but it's like, do you start over with a new guy, or do you go and get like a Marvin Jones not Marvin Jones, Marvin Harrison
Marvin Harrison
Jr.
Jr.
for Justin Fields, and then you have Moore and Harrison Jr. on the same team.
Yeah.
And then maybe with your other first, second round picks, you go and get a running back, some D linemen, some O linemen.
Yes.
And help this team out.
Like I said, get that man some weapons.
Yes. Or do you just say, forget it? Let's just go with Caleb Williams and maybe Marvin Harrison Jr.
Or have them battle it. Or you're right. Draft a new QB and just have them battle it out.
I think I would go with Marvin Harrison Jr. and maybe another running back or some O lineman, a strong defensive player. I don't think Justin Fields is bad per se.
No, he's not. Mm-mm.
So hey, I don't know.
But anyway, my final score is Bears 24, Falcons 21. What's your final score?
My final score, I gotta go with the Bears in this one. The Falcons have been playing teams pretty hard, which it's surprising because the way this team is handled is iffy. But Taylor Heinicke, maybe it's because they keep switching out quarterbacks each week and nobody knows how to game plan against them. Mm-hmm. But Taylor Heinicke had a pretty good game. But I don't know. I think this is just a game where it can go either way, and I'm leaning towards the Bears winning this one. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I think Justin Fields he's trying to end the season on a good note.
As he should.
He's still playing pretty hard.
As he should.
So yeah, I'll just go with the Bears in this. I don't know, just a toss-up, coin flip type game for me. So I'll say Bears 23, Falcons 20.
All right. Next up, oh boy, you got a AFC South matchup. You got the Tennessee Titans going on the road against the Houston Texans. Now, Titans are 5-10. They pretty much aren't really playing for anything. They got eliminated, I think, week before last. But anyway, Houston's still fighting for a playoff spot. These teams always play each other hard. But, Tennessee's QB situation is And the thing is, C.J. Stroud is coming back from injury. Who knows if he's 100% or not? And the thing is, Tennessee can only rely. At this point, they can only rely on Derrick Henry so much. If I were them, I'd put Derrick Henry, just bench Derrick Henry for the rest of the season just to keep him healthy. Like, what's the point? Unless you want to just have him pad his stats, which, hey, if you're gonna do that, that's fine. But yeah, like I said, we all know what Houston can bring to the table, and especially at home, I don't think that Tennessee can match that unless something crazy happens, which I don't doubt it. Which I completely doubt it. But yeah, give me the Titans. Give me the Texans in this game. 24-13. Who you got? Texas Titans.
Now that CJ Stroud's back, I'm leaning towards the Texans. I don't know. This Titans team seems like this might be the end of it all. I think this might be the year Vrabel gets fired. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think unless they bring in a quarterback, he would want to get fired. I don't know if any team wants to be coaching Will Levis and Ryan Tannehill anymore. And the way this year's Derrick Henry looked, I don't know. He might be either just sick of this team, or he's just given up, and or maybe he's just over the hill after all these
carrying the whole team on his back,
having like 300 plus carries. It's finally taking its toll. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But yeah, I think this is a Texans game. CJ Stroud's back. He seems like he's back to normal. Doesn't have Tank Dell out there, but Nico Collins had crazy games without Tank Dell in there. Still got the rest of the offense. Yeah, I'll go with the Texans here. I'll say Texans 24, Titans 17.
Alrighty. Next up, you got the Indianapolis Colts at home against the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Raiders, they have. I'm looking at this, and they say they have a 7% chance of making the playoffs right now. How they're still alive, I don't know. And why they started?
AFC is the toss-up still for some reason.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. And Indy, we didn't think they'd be that good without Anthony Richardson. Gardner Mitchell's been serviceable, and like I said, their running game is amazing. But this one is weird because they just knocked off the Chiefs. I mean, yeah, the Raiders just knocked off the Chiefs on Christmas. I didn't expect that at all. I mean, like I said, I didn't expect it in the way that it happened. I mean, like I said,
That
because
Chiefs team, man, it's not good.
it's good. I mean, no. You got to give them that credit. They're still one of the.
Good. Nope. They are not the Chiefs team that started this season off. But Mahomes is throwing the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce is still hurt. He's been playing with the injury this whole year.
Yeah.
We saw the first week when he got hurt. Then the second week he had a knee injury. Hobbled by that. Both of those injuries the whole season. So you take him out of the picture. Who they got? Pacheco, who's been in and out because he's having concussions and injuries.
Edwards-Helaire, yeah.
Rashee Rice is your number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. This is not. And then their defense they're probably all banged up at this point too. They had a good start to the season. That's the reason why they had such a good record was their defense, pretty much. And now they're getting banged up. Yeah, this team is falling apart. It's falling apart quickly.
Yeah, wow.
So
we'll get to.
We're not good Chiefs anymore.
Yeah, we can get to that.
This might be the end of an era.
Maybe, but yes, I mean back to Indy and Vegas. This game is going to be very, very close. The Colts right now are the favorite, and Vegas is the underdog. But do I really want to go with the underdog, especially because of how they performed against the Chiefs? You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go with the Raiders, just for the hell of it. Give me the Raiders in a close one, 23-21 over Indy. Who you got? Colts, Raiders.
I gotta go with the Colts in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like it because one, Michael Pittman was out last week.
Mm-hmm.
He should be back this week after missing about 2 weeks in concussion protocol. So he's their number one weapon besides Jonathan Taylor. Plus Jonathan Taylor's having his second week back. I don't think this Raiders defense is built to stop the run game. So I think he runs all over him. Gardner Minshew is going to be happy to have his passing guy back. The Raiders, I mean, I don't know. I think, what's his name? Antonio Pierce has had them. He's got a fire lit on him. Max Crosby's been playing a hell of a year. I do think it's going to be close. I'm edging it to the Colts just because I think on paper I like their team a bit better defensively and offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So give me the Colts in this. I'm going to say 24-21 over the Raiders.
All right. Next up, you got the 2-13 Carolina Panthers going up against the 8-7 Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, despite the Jags pretty much being a lot of them were projected as one of the top three teams in the AFC conference this year, but they have been playing like dog water lately. I just don't know what to make of them. But the thing is, this is the reason why. The reason why is because Justin Herbert is not 100%. I mean, not Justin Herbert, but damn it.
Wait, what team are we talking about? I bet.
Yeah. But yeah, it's because it's not playing at 100%.
Wait, which teams are we talking about?
Oh, the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Carolina Panthers. Trevor Lawrence is not. Trevor Lawrence is not. He's been playing injured for like the last 5 weeks. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that.
It's been on and off because he had the knee injury earlier in the year. Then he came back, had an ankle injury, and then I think he got his head knocked off in one of these games. So he's been having an Andrew Luck year. I'll say that.
Yeah,
it hasn't been the prettiest year for him at quarterback.
Yeah, he's been getting beat up, and you can't have that. And the thing is, Carolina's got nothing to play for, but I mean. Look at how they just won the second game.
They've been playing teams hard, though.
Yeah, they got to.
The last 2 weeks have been nail biters for them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't really know what to really say about them. They should be tanking, but they're still trying to. Maybe they're just giving Bryce Young some confidence here at the end because he's almost led a couple game-winning drives. I will say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to play it safe and pick the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. Give me the Jags over the Panthers. Let's say I actually don't have it as a high scoring game either. Let's say 21 21-14. Who you got? Panthers Jags.
I'm gonna play upset here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Carolina gets a win here, just because the way this Carolina's team's been playing, it seems like Chuba Hubbard, he's been having a great second half of the year. They finally benched Miles Sanders. They're over him. But their whole game plan has just been run the ball. And then when Bryce Young, has his looks, give them to him. And he's been getting them off. DJ Chark's been playing great. So Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's trying to will that team to keep that, division lead, but man, that team is banged up. It is bad. And defensively, I mean, this Carolina team could run all over them. So I think it's going to be a close game. I just have this weird feeling that Bryce Young has had a couple drives where he's almost won the game. This might be the one where he does it. Yeah. I think they're trying to build confidence for him, get him ready for next year instead of just straight up tanking.
Yeah.
So, give me the Panthers in this one. I'm going to say Panthers sneak a win off of the Jags. And I'll say it's going to be 21-20.
Alrighty. Next up, you got the New York Giants at home against the LA Rams. The Rams are, the thing is, in the last few games, we've seen flashes of the Rams and how great they can be. I thought they have a better record at this point, but I mean, hey, Matthew Stafford's playing, he's playing right to his skill, right about to his skill level. On the Giants side, however, I think Tyrod Taylor is starting because the DeVito magic has been thrown out the window. I mean, yeah.
And they've been Tommy Cutlets already. That's crazy.
That's a damn shame. But Matt Stafford is starting to look like his old self, and they're going to need to, especially in these next couple of weeks, if they want a playoff spot. The thing is, they haven't really looked that bad. They haven't really looked too good on the road, but I think against this Giants team, I think they can make something happen because I think the Giants are pretty much checked out for the rest of the year. They might fight, and they might make it look good, but I don't think they're going to win this game. So going ahead and give me the Rams over the Giants. Let's say 24-17. Who you got? Rams, Giants.
I got the Rams in this one. They've looked good the last couple of weeks. Kyron Williams, ever since he came back, he's been on fire. Second half, it's looked more like we've seen rookie Puka again. He went a little, quiet for a couple of weeks, but him and Kupp seem like, they're kind of getting in chemistry with Matt Stafford. Because Matt Stafford, I don't know what was going on with him for a few weeks, but he was just stinking it up. But it looks like Puka and Kupp are finally, getting into rhythm with Matt Stafford again. That offense looks good. The defense is still, it's pretty good. I mean, as long as you got Aaron Donald, there's not much you can, say about that defense. So I look at this Giants team. They had a little nail biter with the Eagles, but it feels like the Eagles just play everyone close at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they have blown anyone out since like the Cowboys in the earlier part of the year. So, and that wasn't even really a blowout because they almost lost that game too. So, I mean, there really hasn't been a game where the Eagles have won decisively this year. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm forgetting it. It must have been
earlier on this year, yeah.
So, I think I'm just gonna roll with the Rams here. I don't think the Giants are a threat to anybody really. Give me the Rams in this. I'll say 27-17 over the Giants.
Alrighty. Next up, you got the Philadelphia Eagles at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals aren't really playing for anything. We're starting to see Kyler Murray starting to kind of get his rhythm back, but it's too little, too late. Philly, as you said, we've seen they're at the top right now. Well, one of the top seeds in the NFC right now. But we've seen they've had some chinks in their armor, especially with letting teams back in instead of keeping their foot on their neck. They will let a team back in the fourth quarter. I don't know why they do it, but hey, I don't know if it's just bad coaching or if it's just the defense, or maybe if it's just Jalen Hurts being careless with the ball. I think that might be the problem, and I think that might be why other teams stay in games. But if he can keep that turnover problem under wraps, then I think they can be damn near unstoppable. But Arizona, I mean, like I said, they're pretty much dead in the water. I mean, they don't really have anything to play for. But I mean, this is a safe pick for me. Go on ahead and give me the Eagles 31-23. I'm gonna give the Cardinals some credit. I'll say 31-23 Eagles. Who you got? Eagles Cards.
I gotta go with the Eagles here. Cardinals, they're a mess right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really about them is super interesting to me. Yeah, I don't think they're a threat. I think it's gonna be a close game just because the Eagles let everybody stick into it. But I think the Eagles know at this point that they have to win out, and
of course
they have to play these two teams hard, which is the Giants and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So I mean, they should be wins for the Eagles. This should be a lock for them. After the Cowboys lost to the Dolphins, this should be like the Eagles saying, "Okay, we win this division. Let's go out there and dominate and get this done with."
Yeah, exactly.
This should be the game where they do that.
And they better hope that San Fran. They better hope that San Fran drops at least one.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if that's possible, but I think they would at least win the division.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me the Cardinals in this, or not the Cardinals. Give me the Eagles in this. Yeah. I'll say 33-20 over the Cardinals.
All right. Next up, NFC South matchup. You got the New Orleans Saints going up against the Tampa Bay Bucks. I had so much faith in the Saints this year. I really did. I mean, they're 7-8. I mean, they still got a chance to win the NFC South. But I mean, Baker and the Tampa Bay Bucks, I mean, they're looking like they want to make some kind of noise. Or they're like, okay, yes, we're in a crappy division, but damn it, we're going to stand at the top of that crappy division. I mean, look at, Mike Evans is tearing it up, as usual. And the thing is, he's always one of the top 10 wide receivers in the league. I mean, he's Mike Evans. And Alvin Kamara on the Saints side, he has literally almost 10,000 yards in the last few seasons. I think he's one more game away from 10,000 yards total in the last few seasons. But yes, I don't know if anybody on that secondary can stop Tampa Bay's passing attack. I mean, because the Saints secondary isn't as scary as it used to be, and their quarterback situation is kind of iffy as well. I think that all Tampa Bay has to do is just play a solid game and they'll be fine. Unless they completely just crap the bed and just let New Orleans stay in it, which is a possibility because it's a divisional game, but you never know. Give me Tampa Bay 26-21 over the Saints. Who you got? Saints Bucks.
Saints Bucks. No Lattimore this week, so that's going to be interesting for Mike Evans. Because usually Mike Evans is spoiled by Lattimore in these games. And I think with that on the table, I might have to go with the Bucks here. Rachaad White has been playing great. So the run game's been on fire. Godwin and Evans have been playing great. No Lattimore means Evans might have a field day.
Yeah.
I look at the Saints side. I mean, they're still all right, but I mean, nothing about them is really impressive to me. Meanwhile, this Bucks team, I don't know, they've been looking pretty strong with Baker at quarterback. So, I might have to go with the Bucks here. I might lean towards the Bucks here just because I don't know. I think Lattimore being out just kind of gives me a little bit more confidence in them to get this W. So, yeah, I'll go with Bucks here. I'll say Bucks 28, Saints 24.
Alrighty. Next up, you get the Washington Commanders at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Niners are going to be eager to wash the taste out of their mouth with that loss last week against a pretty much dead in the waters Washington team. Now, here's the thing. is Washington at home is still a team to watch out for. I don't think they're definitely not going to lay down for the Niners. But the thing is, what answer does Washington really have for all of San Francisco's weapons of firepower? I don't think they have any. The best chance they got is to get to Brock Purdy, and I don't think that they can do that. For me, it's the open and shut case. Go ahead and give me the Niners in this game. Let's say 30-17. Who you got? Niners, Commanders.
Oh, give me the Niners in this. I don't know if Trent Williams is playing, but regardless of that, I don't think they need him to be playing against the Commanders. The Commanders they're all right, but something about this team is just they can't win. They cannot win anything. They always end up losing. They'll fight, but then they just lose. When you're going up against the Niners, I can't expect you to sneak a win, especially a Niner team who wants to keep the top of the conference lead.
Right.
I think Christian McCaffrey runs all over him. We don't see Brock Purdy throw 4 picks in this game. We don't see the defense get carved up by Sam Howell or whoever's at quarterback this week.
Right.
Give me the 49ers in this. I'll say 31-20.
All right. Next up, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Drew Lock is going to be starting for the Seahawks, and come on, look at his weapons. I think he's looked just as good as Geno with the weapons, if not better. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're starting to get back on track. They got one of the best defenses in the league right now, especially once they get their secondary straight. But the thing is, it's Mason Rudolph. It's all a matter if you trust Mason Rudolph to lead this team to victory. And this is an interesting stat. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not beaten Seattle on the road in 30 years. So, yeah. This one is gonna be fun. It's a Super Bowl 40 rematch. I just feel more comfortable picking Seattle in this game. It's gonna be close, but we'll see how it goes. Unless Mike Tomlin, got something up his sleeve, but you can't sleep on Pete Carroll either at all. Oh boy, give me the Seahawks over the Steelers, 30-24. Who you got? Steelers, Seahawks.
Steelers, Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. This is a strange game, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where I wonder if it's really just the Bengals just hyping up the Steelers.
Mm-hmm. This
is going to be the game where we see it. Because Kenneth Walker, I think he's going to run all over the Steelers defense. I know Hayward is back, so
Hayward's back.
They might have a little bit of a run stuffer there in the middle for Steelers. It might not be so bad. Geno's not the best quarterback, but DK Metcalf's been better the second half of the season. So
right.
Man, I think it's still in let me see what you got mode for me for the Steelers because I don't know, it's just kind of been a carousel of quarterbacks, and when you got a carousel of quarterbacks out there, Mason Rudolph, it's his first game of the season, so they don't have tape on him. They're not prepared for him. Meanwhile, the Seahawks are going to be prepared for Mason Rudolph this week.
Yeah,
they're going to see what happened against that Bengals team, and they're going to patch it up. They're going to get the flaws that Mason Rudolph has and exploit them. So I think it's not going to be like the Bengals. I think it's going to be close just because that Steelers defense is pretty good. I'm going to lean towards Seahawks, so just because it's Mason Rudolph, I can't trust him. Give me Seahawks 2017 over Steelers.
All right. Next up, we got the LA Chargers going to the road against the Denver Broncos. We already know the story there. The Broncos are benching Russell Wilson. And the Broncos, I thought they had a chance to make the playoffs. But they've been playing super, super sloppy lately. And then you got the Chargers.
Pulled the thing real hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, they imploded. And then you got the Chargers, who just got their second win. I mean, now mind you, they're playing. You know, Justin Herbert's not
Nah,
playing.
it's over. Justin Herbert's out. Keenan Allen's out this week, I think too.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not the week. I'll
Th-
say that.
I think this might be the garbage bowl, but I think it's going to be an entertaining garbage because you see two teams who have below 500 records, and you think it's going to be it's going to be a crappy game. But hey, this game because it's a divisional game, an AFC West game, we might get a firefight. And the thing is, we're going to label 2023 as the year of the backup, the year of the backup quarterback. And believe it or not, I've actually got the Chargers winning this game. I do got them winning this game, especially since they put up a hell of a fight against the Buffalo Bills last week. And I think that if you can give the Bills all they can handle, then you should be able to beat the Broncos no problem. Well, but then again, this is the Chargers we're talking about. They have a horrible habit of letting leads slip through their fingers. But I feel comfortable picking them this game. So going ahead and give me the Chargers over the Broncos. Let's say 24-23. Who you got? Chargers, Broncos.
It's gonna be a weird one for me. I got the Broncos winning this one, but
Really? Oh,
I'm not entirely confident in that. I think it's a. I don't know. I might switch to the Chargers here just because I think all this drama in the Broncos camp might kind of like mess up the flow with them. I'm thinking defensively, both teams might keep it low scoring. Offensively, I mean, both teams aren't in a great position right now. I mean, you got no Keenan Allen, no Justin Herbert on one side. Then you got a new quarterback coming in to replace Russ. Um, I'll go with the Chargers. I think it's gonna come down to coaching. I think it's whoever can coach their team to a victory here it's really gonna come down to that because man, it's gonna be a nasty game. I don't see this being high scoring at all. But I'll lean towards the Chargers. I'll say Chargers win this 17-16 over the Broncos.
Alrighty. All right, next up, you got the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Bengals, they're 8-7, but they're kind of taking a nosedive. And don't get me wrong, they still got a chance to make the playoffs, but I mean, with what they've got going on right now, I just don't see it. I mean, when you got your best quarterback out for the season with a hand injury, you're pretty much dead in the water. And Kansas City, they got a 9-6 record. I think they're still going to get a playoff spot regardless, but they've looked sloppy, real sloppy. Patrick Mahomes, he's, throwing attitudes, and then they've been bit by the injury bug, and, the defense seems like they can't stop anything lately. But I believe in this game, they should be able to do just enough to get, this should be sort of a bounce back game for them unless something crazy happens. But hey, you never know. Give me the Chiefs. Let's see. 28-14 over Cincinnati. Who you got? Chiefs, Bengals.
If the Bengals were in such a bad place, I don't even know if Jamar Chase is playing this week.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, I don't think so. T. Higgins is.
Them,
yeah.
But, I mean...
The Steelers torched them last week, but then again, I think the Steelers just might be their kryptonite.
Yeah, and if you have a bad secondary, that just opens up the floodgates for me to take the Chiefs in this just because they're going to struggle against teams that at least have a solid secondary and at least have a solid pass rush and can get some pressure on Mahomes. I don't know if it's this Bengals team. So yeah, I think the Chiefs get a freebie here. The Bengals are kind of, I don't know, they're defeated. I don't think Browning is the savior that they thought he was going to be. Yeah, I thought he was going to be their savior for a little while. But yeah, it might be the end of the Bengals season. Give me the Chiefs in this. I'll say 24-16 over the Bengals.
All right. Last but not least, the NFC North matchup. You got the Green Bay Packers going up against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I project, like I said, at the beginning of the year, I actually projected the Vikings to win the North. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Both of these teams are still fighting for a wild card spot. The thing is, the quarterback situation for the Vikings looks bleak, and I trust Jordan Love a hell of a lot more in the quarterback situation that the Vikings got going on. And their running game. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and be bold. I trust their running game a little bit more too. And I don't really see this being. I see this being more of a shootout than somewhat of a defensive game or a low scoring game. Um. So yeah, going ahead and giving me Green Bay in this game. Let's say 28-20. Who you got? Packers, Vikings.
Packers Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be an interesting game. It might be a little bit fun. Both teams. I don't think they're. I think maybe they're both out of playoff contention. Mm, 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 mm. I'm gonna lean towards Jordan Love in this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean towards Jordan Love and the Packers in this game. Even though Jair Alexander got suspended for the dumbest thing ever.
Very.
Maybe actually, you know what? No, I'm going to Vikings this game because I think the defense is gonna. I don't think they're gonna have a great game, but I think it demoralizes them. I think him getting suspended for that, I think it might shake up the locker room a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Justin Jefferson probably gonna have a great game now because Alexander's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll lean towards the Vikings in this. I think I think stuff like that does affect the chemistry of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, give me the Vikings in this. I'll lean it close still, 27-23 over the Packers.
Alrighty. And that'll do it for Week 17's predictions. And this game between the Browns and the Jets is still looking pretty close. But yeah,
Pick six made it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, that definitely made it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, any final thoughts before we sign out tonight?
Not much. This Thursday night game has been pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Whole season has been pretty interesting, but
yes.
I mean, coming down to a close, AFC seems like it's still going to be pretty cool, but NFC is pretty much done for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's closing down, unfortunately, but I hope playoff football is pretty fun this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's all we can hope for at this point.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, that'll do it for Week 17 edition of the Fourth and Goal podcast. I'm your host, Dreadman. As always, I'm here with my buddy Flip. Flip, thank you for hosting the show with me. You're the best, and I will see you next week. Peace out.
Peace out, my guy.